Maria Corina Machado winning the Nobel Peace Prize last week for fighting to restore democracy in Venezuela. The opposition leader decided to dedicate her award to President Trump for his support. Roll it.
They decided to dedicate it to President Trump because he deserves it. Because not only has he been involved in only a few months in solving 8 wars, but his actions have been decisive to have Venezuela now at a threshold of freedom after 26 years of tyranny. On behalf of the Venezuelan people, I reaffirmed our gratitude and our commitment to this cause for the whole America. So I insist he deserves it.
Joining me now is Manhattan Institute fellow Daniel DiMartino, who came here from Venezuela with his family. Daniel, great to see you. Thank you for being here. You wrote a terrific post, just a simple expo saying this was an award against socialism. The point is that, you know, if it wasn't Maduro, there'd be 100 other people who could use that system, the socialist system, to become leader of Venezuela. But that's what she represents. She represents the opposition to socialism, not just to one person.
Well, yes, imagine the Nobel Peace Prize, which has always gone to, or usually gone to somebody on the left, finally goes to somebody who believes in capitalism, finally goes to somebody
Right.
who is standing up not against any dictatorship, but against a socialist dictatorship, the socialist dictatorship that has expelled 9 million of us from our native country, the largest refugee crisis. This is more people than Syria that have fled Venezuela. And all of that was because of nationalizations, was because of price controls, was because of over-government spending. And people have to understand that socialism is like a war on the population. So capitalism, freedom is peace.
Well, she's got a powerful ally in the White House here in the United States. Do you think that alliance could help her become the next president of Venezuela?
Well, I pray that's the case, because if that were to happen, if Venezuela were to become a free country, I think people really don't grasp how good that would be for America and the world. Remember, Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. And right now, instead of exporting oil, it's exporting cocaine to the United States. We could save thousands of Americans' lives by overthrowing the Maduro regime, and lower energy costs for the entire world, supercharging economic growth, and stop illegal immigration and crime, right? How many Americans have been killed by illegal Venezuelan immigrant gang members like Jose Barra, who killed Laken Riley? None of this would have happened. None of these border crises, none of this drug crisis without the Maduro regime.
Well, you mentioned oil. They were at one point, correct me if I'm wrong, you know the figures better than I do, but they were producing over 3 million barrels a day. Now they're producing just over 1 million, which is pathetic. However, it has grown a little. Some people say because they're getting help from the Chinese and the Russians. Is that true?
Yes, and the Iranians. People have to remember the Iranians are getting crude from Venezuela and returning gasoline there. That's another point of why Maduro is so dangerous. He has tried to offer to the Trump administration that, you know, we can negotiate and we will let in the American companies. But the reality is that he has always been in bed with China, with Russia, and with Iran. And that's why I think Trump doesn't trust him and shouldn't, and instead should try to do everything he can to cut off the revenue and take him out.
Last one for you, Daniel. You mentioned the drugs. I'm sure that somehow Maduro is going to be able to get a cut of some of that drug money. But are these attacks on the ships, on the boats that are going out loaded with drugs, is that helping to destroy the drug market from Venezuela?
It is absolutely helping, and it's important to know that 86% of Venezuelans, according to a latest poll, support President Trump's actions, so he should continue.
All right, Danielle DiMartino, always a pleasure to see you, Danielle. My best to your family. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.